Okay, so today I decided to make a video documenting this. Maybe someone would get a good use out of it. Um, After I have learned that I made the simple emergency, in my other video you would see them. If you need to, you can just write me and we'll link into them, but you can find it easily because it's recent. I made an emergency during our 3+ day power outage. So I've learned something from that. So I actually made a video and I shared it, but I went into further in case a bigger power outage. They said it was going to be 4 days before everything was fixed, but luckily we had one extra day in advance. So it was 3 days. But anyway, what I've learned is that these things, even with the disc brake, and you've seen a bunch of videos, they didn't really mention that one. The reason why these brakes, they work so well, because they retain the heat. And what happened is when they retain the heat, they keep this hot. Okay? And when they keep that hot, you would be able to reignite the oil without like a lighter or something. That's the concept of it. And that's why you see the stove works successfully. Self-sustaining, you can say that. Anyway, so when I did it, I didn't put anything. I just put a brake disc like everybody else, and then put a container in. But that I found out is that it wasn't able to keep this hot. Now there was a guy that told me you need to stick some screws inside, like bolt. Drop some bolt in there, and the bolt will keep it hot, and it will self-ignite the oil as it drips again. One thing I didn't like about that idea, although it's a great idea, and he found that out, and he shared that with me, and I'm grateful for. The thing is, I like to clean this, and I just want to dump it out, hit on something, and then drop it back inside again. So in a way, you can say, yeah, I'm a little pretty lazy. So I found out that material, plaster of Paris, people are making them a lot on their forge. So I made a similar to this. There was another contraption, which is I burnt test today. You can probably see that in the video too. But they made that, and it actually retained heats pretty good. I actually burnt tested today, and like I said, I have a video on it. The heat was intensive, and it kept it really hot for a while. So it's actually a pretty good insulator, sort of. So today I got inspired, and I have to do it anyway. I was going to do a small one. But I found out that these brake discs right here are pretty good. They're actually really thick. Like these, I believe these came from a Ford truck, a Ford F10 trucks, and they're really super heavy duty brake disc right here. They're a little rusty, but who cares? So anyway, so what I'm going to do is that, and that's what got me inspired to do it, is that I'm going to use this right here. And this is actually a cake flue pan. My original idea is that you can just drill a bunch of holes in here, and then drop it in here, and then put your air through here, and then the air will circulate through around, and that would ignite the oil, blah, 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 blah. Well, during my testing of a lot of things, I don't see that's happening, because there's no way you'll be able to retain the heat hot enough to keep reigniting the oil. So, and plus, it's an emergency. I would have no power whatsoever to turn on the fan. So I have to resort to a different method. Anyway, so my idea now is to, as you can see, I burned some up on this. My idea now is to drop this in here. Okay, so it can sit down right there. So that way it will retain the heat. Then put the plaster all around it with the sand. That would even more retaining the heat. I'm going to take this out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop it in there. And then I'm going to surround that with the plaster. So that way all of those would retain itself. What happened is this dog bowl that I found, it's actually pretty good. What that does is that because the way it's shaped, it actually make a vortex when I insert it inside the fireplace. Not fireplace, my stove. Because it's round. So it creates this vortex and it moves up as it works. So that got me the idea to do this right here. So the next thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this up a little bit. And then I'm going to come back on the next video. And then I'm going to put it all together. I'm going to mix the plaster. I actually got a new bag there. A bigger bag. And I'm going to mix that with water, sand. And I'm going to fill this up. And then I am going to encase that into here. So it's going to sit suspend something like this right here. But I have to do in 2 stages because this is too deep. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to raise this up a little bit with plaster first. Probably up to here. Then I'm going to drop this in. And then I'm going to fill the rest with plaster again. So it's going to be 2 stages. And this is the first video explaining the idea. The second video I'm going to make that, and then the third video is going to be the final, and then I'll merge them all together. I know it's kind of long. I probably want to do I wish I can speed up a little bit, but I'm still learning how to edit things. I'm usually good with finding things out, but I don't know. I'm pretty lazy. Well, I got something in my mind which I don't want to mention. But anyway, so I'm sorry for the long video, but that's what's going to happen. So this video just explaining what I'm going to do, and then the next 2 I'm going to do the other one. Other than that, that's about it. I'm going to keep it short and simple. I'll see you in the next. Okay, so today is a continue on video. This is going to be the final version of this, my emergency. I'm going to use this as my mixing bowl. I'm going to use this spoon to mix them together. And I got my sand there. And I got my plaster. Before I go into further, I'm going to do one more time to remind. I found this disc here. I believe this is from a Ford F-150. It fits perfectly. This pan fits perfectly in there. So like I said before in the previous video, is to retain the heat. That's why I'm using the plaster and sand. So that way it will even retain more heat. Then the idea is to put this on top afterward. Once I have everything all set. And then that way I use this as emergency. So the end of the concept, you would see something like this and all the plaster around. I'm going to use this as my template. So I'm going to put some tin foil underneath there, because as you know, heavy duty tin foil won't burn and it will retain the heat as well. I was going to cut this, but I figured I was just going to leave it. Maybe there's another project somewhere in the future or something. Maybe I can do something with it, but I don't need to cut that because then there'll be a hole in there underneath there anyway. So I'm going to pause the video, I'm going to put it in a tripod, and then I am going to mix it and go further. Okay, I had to prep it a little bit. I have to prep that. Because it has a hole down here, I had to cover that. I just taped it, and like I stated before, I put heavy duty tin foil down there. And then my pan, I have to cover this because I wanted the trim to be really nice afterward. So in case all these junk gets stuck on it, I can just peel the tape off afterward. But so I'm gonna leave that aside. I'm gonna mix it now. First I'm gonna do my sand there. And then I'm gonna get my plaster. Okay, my plaster. And then I'm gonna add my water. Use a spoon to mix them. And you can see the consistency. So extra milky. So I'm gonna go downstairs and get some more sand. It was too milky here. Oh, shit. It's all over the place. I have to be really careful playing with this stuff. Go get some more sand. I'll be right back. As you can see, it looks like pudding. So now I got almost 2 parts of sand and 1 part of plaster, which I don't want because I want some extra plaster so we can get a little my time will be a little bit better. So let me add some more water. Okay, the consistency is a little bit better now. It's like jello-y, I would say. A little bit more plaster. too much. Okay. This is the consistency that I like. Need to look at it. Well, I can use an extra sand because, as you know, sand won't. I'm gonna run and get a little sand. Just to prevent cracking. More sand the better, I guess. Okay. It should be good. Have to move all this stuff out of the way. I can start pouring in my form. And I guess just dump it in there. After that, I have to go and rinse this out. I don't want it to dry up, because I have to mix my next batch. That should be good right there. Shake it out a little bit. Let me see. It's almost right. And that's it. I'm gonna let this dry while I wash the other stuff. It's pretty good. Double check underneath. Okay. I'm gonna let this set, and then I'll go on to my next stage. Okay. So we continue on. It's been about 25 minutes, and this is hardened already. It's a little hot, so which means I know it's hardened. You can see it's pretty solid. It's like brick. Now the concept is to put that in. I have pre-mixed. This time I mixed three parts of sand and 2 parts of plaster because I want more sand this time. You're supposed to do the formula is 1 + 1, but since it's gonna be at the burning section, I want more sand. I'm afraid it's gonna crack, so we'll find out. But I guess it's best to mix it before you do it, because then you can just add the water in easily and circulate around, I guess. It'd be easier that way. Hopefully. My second time doing it, so I don't know. We'll find out, I guess. Now you can see more sand here. Sand's more showing up now. Let's need more water. Actually, I left a container the other day outside, my old container, and it was all liquidy, but funny thing is it became hard in like 2 days. So make sure to clean these afterward right away, or else you're gonna, if you need this container, you have to clean it right away. It's like baking a cake, I guess. Okay, pretty good consistency, just the way I like it. And now I'm just gonna pour it in. My battery's running out, but you saw how the process before. So if batteries are out, that means you won't get to see the rest. But I'm just gonna put it in here and I'm gonna squish it down. Push on the side, I guess. I'm gonna leave until the battery runs out, and then I'll do on the next one. So hopefully you get to see the rest of it. I should have changed the battery, but it's pretty easy concept anyway. I don't think you need to see it, to be honest. It's very important to put this on here, as you can see, so you can peel it off afterward if you want a nice looking form. But I guess this is it. Let's see, it looks pretty good right now. If the battery runs out, I would let you see the next video, I guess, afterward when it's all prepped and done. So I would just continue on here and make it look really nice, because I have to clean up a little bit. But as far as the concept, you saw how easy it was, so I don't need to explain further. I'm just going to clean up a little bit here. Get the rest of it. And then just shake the rest of it out, I guess. And then I have to clean this for my next batch in case I want it to raise up higher. But other than that, that's it. I'm just going to get a black wet tissue. And I'm going to clean the surrounding to look a little bit better, I guess. Wet tissue would be nice. No. Yeah, that's it on that. I'm just gonna center it a little bit. Shake it out. I might do a little bit extra here because I want it to be a little nicer. And up top here. I guess shake it like that, back and forth like this to get all the... Okay, so I am on my last step, as you can see. When I ran out of battery, I did I shaked it as normally, but it didn't go all the way up to here, so I'm going to top it off. I'm going to make it nice. This time I'm going to have a wet tissue so I can clean the surrounding here and make it look a little nicer. So I'm going to mix my next batch, which I prep already, to save yourself a little bit of time, I guess. I'm going to mix it right now. This time I use a container that is disposable. I don't really need these containers. So I'm going to try to do that. And that way I don't have to rush around, because the other container was what needed to be washed and stuff, and I had to sit here and shake this to make sure it's all level and stuff. So best thing to do is, if you're on your last step like this, use a disposable container, and then that way you can get rid of it. This time I mixed 50-50 because I wanted a nice flat top here, so I hope it will be okay on that one. No, I think I put too much water right now. But we'll see what happens in a few minutes. I think it'll work. Kind of come out nicely now, but I like consistency like this because it's easy to work with. But my only issue is that, see how the consistency of that? My only issue is that it might crack up top because that's a vital part and it's up top. But then its consistency like this would make it look a little nicer. So it's like a give and take thing, I guess. We'll see what happens, I guess, right? And like I said, this is where heat gets the most too, so you don't want to crack either. But like I said, I tested before with high heat, it didn't crack. So hey, plus if it crack, I'd be smoking crack, right? Something I haven't done before. Anyway, that's the consistency I like right here. So I guess I'm going to put it all around here. And then shake it all back out nicely again, I guess. And I'll just push this around. Okay, it's a little bit overflow. I'm gonna have overflow on this one, but I'm gonna try to see if I can clean it up. Maybe get a ruler or something and try to, like, you know how you do with cement. People do this stuff with cement, I guess. We'll see what happens. I can always push it in the center, because I don't really need the center here. I just have to clean up a little bit, I guess. Let me shake this out like I normally do, and then see what I got to work with next, I guess. In a way, I kind of like wanted to push it like towards the bowl, like higher than the bowl. Because then if there's any oil, it's just going to stay in there, I guess. But we'll see. I don't know. It's like experimenting, so. Guess it's topping my cake here. And remember, I still gotta work this off so I can clean it up afterward. Starting to harden really though. So I guess it's time for me to clean the surroundings so I can get my stuff later, I guess. Also, we just encapsulate this whole thing. See if I can expose that. I don't really care what it looks like as long as it looks a little decent up top. That's all it really matters, because it's only a burning chamber anyway, so I don't really care. But at least make it a little nicer, I guess. Like that. Squish it aside and then clean it off, I guess. Like I said, like baking a damn cake, I guess. Now it looks like a top of a cake. It's starting to harden though. You can feel it right now. I guess I'm gonna have to wait a little bit and have to score the rest of this stuff off right here, especially this side right here, because remember my tape probably can be easily pulled off, so once it's done. So I said importantly before, need a little rag, a wet rag, and then you can probably another thing you can use is a bottle of spray. That would be nice too. I'm gonna pat this down a little bit so it can be a little smoother, but it is hardened already. It's hard to work with right now. Funny thing is, there's only that little amount of time and it's hardened already. Wonder if I can just drop a little water. Holy crap, that thing's already hardened already. You can probably put a little plaster on top of it and then pattern it down, I guess, to make it smooth if you want to, but I don't really care at this point. This is the last stage, doesn't really matter. Let's see, a little smooth out right now. It's like working with cement. It's like another form of cement, I guess. I don't know if you ever worked with cement before. I did a few times. Working on our stairs. Trying to patch like an old stairs. So I've done cement before once. Pretty similar to her. So if you ever work with cement, I guess this is the same step. I'm just trying to clean this off so I can see my my bowl. Exposing my bowl. So definitely you will need water at the end to smooth this out. If you want it nice looking, because look how hard it is now. You won't be able to do anything with these. Look at that. It's really hard. Can't do nothing to it. That's it. I'm doing this just to make it look a little nicer, I guess. But it's already hardened already. I can't do anything anymore. It comes to worse, I can leave that there. And I spray with high heat paint. But that's just being picky. I'm just gonna clean this off a little bit right here. Surrounding. Just like I said, it's already hardened already. I can't do anything now. I'll show you that bin in a minute. It's really hard, and I'm surprised it hardened so quick. I guess I didn't put enough water in there and give me another little bit of extra time, I guess. And believe it or not, that consistency, it's the way I like it too, but I guess I have to give it a little extra. Because obviously you can see it didn't help me much. I guess that's it. Now I just have to wait. The surroundings are nice now. You can always clean that off after because it won't stick. I don't know if you've seen my other video. I actually show it. The plaster won't stick to the stainless steel. That's one good part about it. So I have to go wash my hands because I don't know what the hell they made these out of. It does create a heat, so that means to tell you something. That means some kind of chemical exchange. So I should read the stuff there, but I didn't really like read them. I just bought them because I saw them online, and I just not online, on the in the store. I didn't get to read them, but this is just making it look nicer. That's about it. Like I said, just I would have to remember I also put tape around here, so I can easily, once I peel that off, you won't even see these no more. And it does. It'll probably just flake off a little bit. But if you want to, you can actually do a better job than I did. But for me, if you are more a perfectionist, I guess I would say, because it's all hard in here. Look at that. You can just pick them off right now, but that's it won't, like I said, it won't stick to the tape, so, which is good. But it'll stay in its form though, as long as this is still dry. It's not completely dry yet. So I guess it would be best for me to tear this off now. I'm going to tear this off now so I can make my form before it hardens. I need a razor blade. And then I'm going to go wash my hands. Okay. Here we go. I know. Final concept. Now see, I'm glad you, if you did what I did, I just put a tape around the bowl. And now I peel them off. It's a nice surrounding. If I didn't do that, if I didn't prep that, it would look all ugly. So you can use probably like duct tape, or you can use the silver tape that I have here, or something that you'd be able to get that off like I did, I guess. But so how nice it is now. And then just cut around the rim, so you have this nice rim. Holy crap, it's really hard now. It's still dry, but it's still like needs drying to do, but it's hard already. I can feel it, like it's like hard like sand. I guess that's it. I'm gonna upload this video now. So if you ever do this, hopefully learn something from this video. My first time doing a chamber like this. So hopefully you won't make any mistakes, because it does. My last one, my only tip is add a little extra water. Not extra like so liquidy that takes a long time to dry, but it will. Okay, this is the last video before I actually do a burn test. So I know this video is kind of long, and I hope it'd be worth it to you after watching it. You probably can learn a lot from this, because this was a trial and error, I guess, for me. I'm glad it wasn't any error. It was pretty simple, and I'm gonna look at it. It's pretty heavy. I mean, extremely heavy. And it's like brick. Oh my god, it's freaking heavy as hell. And the thickness of this, I would probably say about 3 inches deep. So if it's 3-inch deep, it's gonna hold pretty good heat on that one. But like I said, it's just for an emergency sake. So down here, I actually taped that. So as you know, saw earlier from the other video, it's actually open underneath. So I taped that. I put tin foil on there, and you can knock on that crap, and it's like, it feels like freaking, holy crap, it's like you can hit somebody with this damn thing. Anyway, that's the finished product right there. I am pretty happy with it. I'm gonna wait until these all dried up, because it's flaking off a little bit. Although I had a wet paper towel, and I'm cleaning it off right now. And before, I don't know if it's gonna flake off tomorrow. If it does, I'm going to tape around here, and I'm gonna coat it with high heat paint, so that way the oil doesn't seep down and all that stuff. So I'm gonna coat it up one more time. I'm gonna try it, but I'm trying to get the tape from on the side here, and it's pretty hard to get it out. Funny thing is that the plaster will come off, but that part won't come off. So it's kind of hard right there, the surrounding right here. But I will try to work that out. because I don't want it to stop peeling off when it's in the furnace or the fireplace or whatever. Like I said, this is my the reason why I'm doing this is my emergency. My emergency burning chamber. What I've learned that a lot of people didn't really, they mentioned, but it's kind of vaguely, and I didn't really understand it too well. I mean, they could have just said, you know what? The secret to your oil burning stove is the chamber. That's it. That's all they had to say. They made these elaborate brake discs. They put these things in a brake disc. But here's the thing. This thing here flops around. So how do you think it's going to keep its heat? It would be like 30 minutes in, or even 50 minutes in, before this thing even starting to reignite itself, or hot enough to reignite itself. I find that it took me about 2 cups. So that's 16 ounces, 8 ounce each, before this thing chamber, not chamber, the stainless steel bowl even get hot. And that's what led me to go this route. And like I said, I've tried brake disc. I even doubled the brake disc. I even put extra stuff in, and it doesn't do like the way I like. And also too, when if you watch my other video there, you would see that this kind of vortex, and because of the bowl is oval and it opens up, and what happened is air trying to go through here, and it create this vortex. Plus the door is also important. So that's what led me to go this route. And like I said, during my emergency, I found out how to perfect this by going this route, by keeping this heat and keeping this hot. But the problem with the brake discs is they're not that thick. I wanted the thicker in order for the heat to keep this self-sustained. So that's my bottom line to that. And like I said in the other videos as well, is you can make this, you can do the same step, and you can make a forge. And I will link to a guy that did the forge and where I got this idea from. But my idea is to make it self-sustained, I guess. But I'm pretty happy with the outcome, because it took me a while to learn this, and like I said, no one just came out and just plainly said, listen, your burning chamber, never mind about your dripping, never mind where you're gonna get the oil, never mind about any other stuff, your chamber. The secret to the burning is your chamber. How to keep the heat so the heat can reignite your oil. And like I said, brake disc, it's probably about 10 millimeter thick, or 15 even. Like I said, I found the other my other brake disc, which I showed earlier there. It's actually pretty good. So I'm going to drop this inside it. So now I'm going to double the layer. So that's going to be really heating, really hot. But in the end of it all, I'm pretty happy what I've discovered. And I hope people would got something out of it. It took me probably about 6 months to go through all the stuff, trial and error. There are people on YouTube there that just stick, a tin can and all this stuff. But is it clean burn? Is it self-sustained? Is it efficient? The efficiency of it. That's what I'm looking for. So that's what led me to go through this route. And that's what got me to today. So tomorrow I'm going to light it up because I wanted to wait for 24 hours before I do it. And then I'll take my last video there. But like I said, this is for the emergency. It's not for, I don't know, maybe I can just use this as a dripping system as well. Just drip my oil right in here and let it burn. Same thing with my fan. Just throw my fan right on top of here and the oil drip in here, and it'll just probably, because like I said, because it's so thick and it keeps the heat in and it keep heating this chamber, I might have a successful at it that it'll be clean burn and it'll be an easy burn. So anyway, I'm gonna end this video here because now you know how to do these, and if it's successful, I will make the final video on it. It's probably gonna be long, and I'm sorry, this is the longest video, believe it or not, this is the longest video I have ever posted. So you know how important that is. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video.